how would you describe these type of cars? It's like almost like a new genre. Explain what's going on here.
So what we're seeing is the cars that we loved as kids. Like this is an homage to the 037 Group B rally car. The 190E next to us, right? The HWA is building. And then the car over next to that, it's a 355, reimagined by Evoluto. People will want these cars and they want to go through the bespoke specking as if it was brand new. And it is 1991 or 2, and we're going through this and we're specking them from scratch. The Resto-Mod sort of craze and the reimagined is taking an old chassis. What we're sitting in right now is a 1976 Beta Monte Carlo Scorpion. They didn't last. They didn't fare well with rust, etc. And Chimera, in this case, has reimagined it into what they call the Evo 38. I don't think this is a phase. I think this is here to stay. In the world last year, there was 2,000 cars delivered over the price of $650,000. 25% of them were Resto-Mods.
Right.
That's significant.
Right.
Someone just came by and was like, oh, I'll wait till I can get the Evoluto for less when it's pre-owned. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be the case.
When we saw this car first, which was 2 years ago, you told me what the retail prices was to like order one from them. And now I see them advertised double.
Yep. And I think
2 years.
The barrier to entry to get into the top Ferraris, the top Bugattis, and the top supercars has gotten so difficult that people would rather and prefer to buy a Resto-Mod, actually drive it, actually enjoy it. It's a different level of collector.
Do you think that has to do with that generation, that it's like, I can have something of similar value but quality, but I can actually use it. I can actually kind of like live with it. Do you think that's a part of the motivation of this story?
I think it is, but I think it's also that people want something that no one else has. You know, Gunther Works is still a Porsche. You still can get in it and go run an errand in it. The 190E, the HWA Evo next to us, has a trunk you can fit golf clubs in. You can drive to work in that car and actually use it. And it'll do 1 minute lap times around Lime Rock with 4 people in it. But I think this is a permanent installation in car culture. So we're seeing people kind of coming into car culture for the first time, and their first nice car is a Resto-Mod.
Would you describe it as Resto-Mod? Like this, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so bespoke. There's no old, other than the frame maybe, there's not one screw in here which is not
correct.
bespoke.
This is,
so this is like kind of a stretch to call it a Beta Monte Carlo Resto-Mod.
However, in this instance, the motor in this is the 2.1 4-cylinder, twin-charged S4 motor from the Group B rally era. So they're putting components in it that sort of belong. This left the factory originally with a Lancia badge on it. Why can't it have one on it later? Now, granted, the Gunther Works, they don't get delivered with a Porsche badge on them, but it is up to the owner to do what they want, customize their own car. Same with 1511. I mean, they're not calling themselves Porsche, but they are reimagining a Porsche product. This is a celebration of these brands. I mean, do you think Lancia cares that Chimera exists? I think they're probably elated that someone's doing something cool with, you know, one of their old cars.
As classic cars became more and more cherished and completely rebuilt and like made perfect, the big brands, you know, from Jaguar to Mercedes to Porsche to Ferrari, all eventually established their classic department to like kind of authenticate originality, to provide parts for, and like over the last, I would guess, 15 years, like they all started to create like a whole classics division.
Right.
Do you think, projecting 10 years in the future, there might be a department within those big companies for Resto-Mods where they said like, oh, we take our 911 from, you know, 1998 and we offer like this complete upgrade, or if you want to bring in your old car from then and you want to give it a whole new lifespan and experience, we'll put like our newest transmission in, you know, like could you imagine that's where it's going?
I can see it happening. I mean, look at Mercedes this year. They made a G-Wagon Classic. They're seeing what people are doing with their old stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so they did that Classic Edition G which has some of the curves and lines of the original sort of 80s and 90s G-Wagon, and that shape's kind of iconic, right? And then now they're off for a Cabrio, which, I mean, so Mercedes obviously listened and saw what people were doing and were like, we want a piece of that. And the reason I like the re-engineering is when someone can show me they've put $3 to $4 million of R&D into something that you and I can't understand. That's been sort of my journey, is everything that we represent is something that I would have and I have in the collection. I don't think that we're gonna see Chimera disappear. I don't think we're gonna see HWA disappear.
Chimera is just too beautiful.
The momentum.
Too nailed it. I mean, it's just, yeah.
I mean, look, the front drive shaft is visible. This is basically a chainsaw. This is hilariously funny, like to drive, and you can drive it like a complete jerk.